Instead of giving presents, Santa now put things that you lost or were stolen from you under the tree. What would be the most excited for you to see under the tree? The Ewok pillowcase my mom made for me when I was 6. I got it to my son, and he loved it and used it at my ex's house. We wouldn't return it after the breakup. She wouldn't return it after the breakup. I would positively explode with joy if Santa brought it back to me. Well, isn't it your property? I think Santa is about to become a lawyer. This whole thread is heartbreaking. It was defining and expecting way more better than virginity jokes. Mr. X CLAUS, Ho Ho Tony at law versus the ex-abusive manipulator and more. Ho Ho Tony at law. I laughed at this more than I should have. There will be a lot of bikes under my tree. What are you, a Dutch? As a Dutch person, I can and will say that we don't have bike fetish. I only have 6 bikes. Dude, I want back my clear purple Game Boy Advance with Pokemon Gold cartridge and 9th light attachment still on it. That would be that gift. The neighborhood bully stole it from me when I was a kid. Edit. Heart goes out to all brothers and sisters who lost or were stolen Game Boys out here. The same X-Pac thing happened to me about Pokemon Crystal. I feel your pain. A moment of silence for our long-lost Cinder Killers. Edit. I get it all. Y'all motherfuckers like to dare y'all. We can have a moment of silence for them too. However, evidence shows that Chicken Pizza will get some moment of silence. Guys, same thing happened to me with Pokemon Yellow. It was even purple see-through GBC. My deceased mother's wedding rings were stolen by my dad's ex-wife, his second wife. My mother died suddenly when I was 17, and leaving my dad with 4 daughters. He remembered to marry with his high school sweetheart who manipulated to abuse him and his sisters for 5. The day we think about the rings and was the day she moved out, and right before she physically assaulted me. I would have given anything to have something of my mother's, but she didn't have much to leave behind. Santa wouldn't have only gotten the ring back, but would also commit a crime that night. My ability to produce insulin, my ability to produce serotonin, my ability to produce dopamine, my ability to reproduce. My dad is the 3rd person in his family to have his name carried down generations after generations from my great-grandfather. When we were little, my granddad stopped by one day and passed by into our house with the rings of initials embroidered into it. He was emotionally, and he was so very happy. Later that night, my brothers and I lost the frisbee on the tree. My dad is the ultimate dyer, so he rigged up the football and threw it on higher branches and yanked, and it broke. And it attached to frisbee. It eventually worked, and all it was funny a little scene. Later that night, he realized that his ring was gone. He assumed tossing the ball again and getting it loosened. It probably flew off his hand. He would go around constantly for years, coming looking for that ring. He even bought a heavy metal detector to try and find it. No luck. I would have hoped Santa would finally cut the guy and bring a break to give the ring back. Hey, serious reply. Please check Facebook and look for the metal detector clubs to put a Craigslist ad for a service. Many of these guys have the opportunity to find something cool, even if it is just to return it to someone. Just to clarify, Ope mentions his dad bought a metal detector, but having someone who does this semi or professionally isn't quite the same. Seriously, look through the good luck with the hunt if you make it up. Seriously, do this. We had similar situation in our house last year. Our local metal detector club came out and found the ring along with some other neat trinkets. There are metal detector clubs? Give the metal detectors as well, as cool as hell. Of course they are. How the kid asks Santa what happens to the dead kid's toys. They will end up in his stocking if you don't shut up, and the toys too. My dad plays Santa for a community every year, and the little girl once asked for a nicer daddy. This is sad. The thing with kids is that their dad could not be an abusive monster, or he might just not eat frizzles for dinner. You never know. My younger sister asked them all to get rid of me forever. I had walked through Disney store with her earlier, but didn't let her buy anything because neither of us had money. And our mother just brought us along while she bought shirts. When I was a little kid, I accidentally erased my Pokemon Save Game Boy. I told him I was disowning him as a brother. I regretted saying that for years because my brother took it pretty hard. Getting disowned is at least for the consequences he would have expected for a heinous act. LOL. That's what I felt like at that time. It was Pokemon Crystal. I think it was back then you'd realize you had to hard work trading with these kids to complete your decks. Not a Santa, but I remember being in the hospital. A lot of kids with such stomach issues. I remember asking a mall Santa if I could get better or not die. Once I was about 8 or 9 when the mall Santa looked at me sadly and said he couldn't do that. Almost with tears in my eyes, I asked my old dog that I'd asked if my old dog that died as a puppy could be brought back as a zombie so that we could be both dead together. If I could come back as a zombie too, so I could stay with my parents so that we wouldn't be sad. Looking back, it was really creepy, and I think I broke the poor guy's heart. But wait, you asked that, right? So congrats in leaving, I guess. Did you not read the post? He asked if he could come back as a zombie. Clearly, he is a zombie. So this is how it started. I was Santa for a corporate holiday parties one year. I was in my 30s and used to spray my beard. Looked lifelike. Kids dug it and did one mom or auntie threw up a kid in my lap. Hers, I hope. And whispered she wanted Santa to fuck her from behind while pulling her hair. She doesn't seem to be drunk. I was so uncomfortable. Then the meeting planner told me she does this every year. I wonder what childhood Christmas experiences she would be growing up. Remind me that one video from an animation domination where 50 Shades of Grey, but with Santa. I'll stuff your stocking. If I did stuff her stocking, he should have used condom and said that Santa's presents always come with wrapping. I wonder if it was candy cane or gingerbread flavored. You should have written script for porn. I wasn't a Santa, but my roommate was, and he was on spot on East Brooklyn. A super improvised idea riddled with a lot of drugs and violence. He said that it was disturbing how kids had literally nothing, so they asked for the most basic things, or they just asked to get a shitty situation that he said stuff like was common. I wish my mom could stop hitting me. I wish my brother was still alive. He got shot. I wish we had enough money for a microwave. I wish my daddy would stop doing heroin. Stuff like that was everywhere. My wife and I adopted a kid every year to buy Christmas presents through a local charity. This list always depresses us. It includes basic necessities like jackets and gloves. We ended up spending more money, and whoever to adopt them into the whole families, all their nieces and nephews and their sons are gonna have a great Christmas every year. This could be the kids' only one. Thank you for doing this. I'm going to looking into doing something similar with my girlfriend when I get a regular paycheck. A former mall Santa even bought a professional suit because I hated this one they provided. I got few creepy stories that involved college students. Kit, a little girl no more than 5 years was screaming bloody murder when it was her turn. Kids get scared of Santa, not that common. Her dolled up mama was having none of the child's tantrum, and elves were pleading with her to not put the girl on my lap. She did, and her kid instantly stopped screaming. She just had to look for a pure hatred at her mom for a reminder of a photo session. I swear, I thought it was candid camera before the YouTube y'all. It looked out so acted according to Talk to the Little Terror. I asked her what she wanted for Christmas. She looked at me and softly said above a whisper, "For my mom to die." Nope. Myself into a break, and then it was inside joke for the rest of the mall season, whispering between the kids, "I want you to die." College student. One rather lonely overnight girl kept getting in line several times a week to get pictures with Santa. I was in college myself. Back then, I'm pretty sure she was working herself up and asking extremely shy, awkward, and some hygiene issues. She only paid for one photo while the else remembering seeing her throughout the week. When I wasn't on shift, apparently only got pictures with me, adults. I was in my 20s and perverted and MILF whispered into my ear while sitting on Santa's lap. Definitely something for the naughty list to be sure. It became frequent for the young Santas to get groped, teased, molested by elves. We're told the close adults got pictures taken. Elf security show. Man, you know your ex life hate a dry smell when you hit on Santa. No offense or anything. LOL. I'm sure you were an awesome Santa, but still, my sex life is so dry. I'm going to buy a Santa suit in July, hoping to get up 5 months from now. Probably not all the people you want to get touched by. I'm pretty sure you have a hint of Santa buying just the potential as grobbery. You are gonna be too picky.